Derivatives trading involves substantial risk of loss and is not suitable for all investors. Past performance is not necessarily indicative of future results. The information shared here is for educational purposes only and is not a recommendation to trade.
Good morning, folks. Thanks for joining me. It is Friday, the 7th of November, 2025. It is 7:46 a.m. currently. Let's jump in to the Convergent Trading pre-market summary sheet here this morning. Take a look at that. Risk-off sentiment, you can see the heat map is somewhat orange. We do have pretty much the relative volume shows low here at 66%, for example, for the ES. But if you look at the volume for the session, now remember, relative volume is based on the average at this moment over the last 20 sessions. So we take how much volume there was at this moment over the last 20 sessions on average, and then we compare it to the current conditions. And so what we have is versus the average, it's not, remember, averages don't describe real values. We have a 66% RVol, but the actual volume is quite high, 256,000 contracts. Inventory is basically flat. At the moment, range has been pretty strong. We have been moving around overnight. The market's continuously digesting a lot of information. Now, since it's Friday, we love to do this on Friday, I'm going to throw this at you and say, take a moment and type in where you're at. And if you want, you can reach out to someone else in this chat by typing their name to message them, and then give them your Instagram, Twitter, LinkedIn, whatever. Don't share emails. Don't share phone numbers, because those will be farmed. Those will be farmed and you will be spammed. So if you see someone that's close by, do yourself a favor. Contact that person. We don't like to trade by ourselves. Traders do better as a group, as a pack. And so do that. Okay, back to business. So mild risk off this morning. We're seeing cryptos falling. The Bitcoin is back at the $100,000 mark. And unfortunately, ETH, which was doing so fantastically for me this year, is below 3,300, 3,400 again, getting hit. The government shutdown continues, the longest shutdown in history. The two longest shutdowns in history are now under the Trump administration. The one last time when he was president, and now the current one, airports are being closed, or not being closed, but flights are being cut, starting with 4%, cutting to 10%. And it's just not looking good for folks all around. People are working for free for the federal government. It just sucks all around. But politics being what they are, here we are. Crude oil is making a bounce. Crude has pushed into the 59 handle. This was the bottom, the scraping bottom of the balance range so far, and is turning back up. So crude is making a nice run higher and is attempting to stay above 60, having a hard time making a work of it. But overall, crude is breaching its one-time framing. It's opening in 10 minutes, and it's likely to open at the upper end of the range, breaking the one-time framing down. So if you're trading crude, it is at the lower end of the range, the balance range. The balance range is around 60. What is it? It was 59.40 to about 62 is where we've been stuck, and where we reached 58.83 yesterday. We're above 59 now, and we closed above 59, and we are trading in the excess high of yesterday, above the excess high of yesterday. So I'm going to let you read this on your own. Just note, volume's pretty strong in the S&P, and range is pretty strong in the S&P. This is a day you'd want to stick around and be here for the open and for the morning. In my opinion, of course, that's not a recommendation to trade, but that's where we are. Let's take a look at the S&P overall. So let's start with the market profile picture. Market profile picture. So I went over this on Tuesday, of course, but I want to constantly point out the narrative, and the narrative is, if you follow these points of control, you'll see that we've made this kind of rounded top and have put in just a beautiful kind of think of a ball being thrown in the air and how it decelerates over time. It requires, it's losing energy the higher it goes. That's basically what we have here. This is a typical way to put in a top, a swing high, and we're still struggling. We continue to struggle to find buyers. So we're back into this area of balance. So what we did is we came from this area of balance. We gapped up, busted through. This was the third week of October, busted through, put in new all-time highs, sold off, came right back. Then we created a big gap right there, an island day, big gap up here, and have been in this balance for a while. That's the high. And then since then, we filled the gap. We filled the gap zone right here. We tried to push and hold above 68.50. That set up a beautiful trade, 68.50. And then we failed to do so. We ended up finishing inside of the IB 2 days ago. And then yesterday we opened. We tried to squeeze above and get to prior settle. We opened in range. So there's a probability for prior settle. Remember, if you're with Convergent, don't forget to use your MSR, your stats report, to figure out what the statistics are of what the market will do. And opening within range, closing, touching the prior close. As of last weekend's update of the statistics, historical probability 73%. 73% historical probability that we would tag that number, and yesterday we failed to do so. Yesterday, as soon as it went up and turned around, it was obvious that the sellers were in control. You could see the sellers come right in here and blow right through the bids with these big bubbles that you see there, the red bubbles, 500 lot, 2,000 lot hitting the bid, and so on and so forth. So we quickly moved through, we extended the IB, and then we held steady for quite some time at the lower end of the range before popping higher, and the pop was sold into the close. So where does that take us? So this being what it is, we will put in a profile right here to see where the point of control is. The point of control is actually above us, 67.80. So to me, 67.60 to 67.80, just a big area of supply. Not expecting the market to get back up there easily on the first try. Creates an opportunity for a short on a first test for me. And here's where we are on the 30-minute volume profile chart. Really beautiful retest here yesterday of the key consolidation from a couple days ago. Remember this area right here? You can see we tested. Oh, I cannot draw a circle. Tested, and it's just holding below here. That's that 67.80 area once again coming into play. So now this is canceled. Boom. And then what we have for today is this beautiful zone right here. This becomes this morning's big LIS. Okay, that's going to be the area with which we judge how the buyers are doing. Anything below there is going to continue to be sold. Okay, so that's where we stand this morning. We're forming another, actually, believe it or not, we're forming another big area here. We could see that it's getting crowded. And if you look at the order flow, what this shows, this is my other order flow chart that I monitor. Let me drag that over. You could see that, it's ping-ponging. Chop, 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 nice zipper. Break higher. The break has seen resistance. You could see there's volume up there. There's, there had to be strong offers up there for it to stall and turn. And then it comes straight down. And then we end up with a zipper. We break the zipper to the downside. So essentially what this is, what you're seeing here, is the mirror opposite of what you're seeing up here, right? It breaks down, breaks through, takes the low out, and what does it do? It encounters support in the form of bids getting hit at that price. Point of control shifting to the low on that particular bar. This is a 2x8 PNF chart. PNF is good for looking at balance and imbalance on a shorter time frame. This is why I like it. And then it shoots the other way. So what we have is kind of a very whipsawy, strong balance area. And until that resolves itself this morning, my hand's off the mouse, and that's my money-saving tip for today. If I could save you from over trading, then that's an effort well worth it. So even if it pushes to the upside through the 67.30, I'm going to be suspicious as we come into the VWAP, full session VWAP, full session mid. So this area here into this 67.42, this area here is going to be very interesting. I'm hoping that the market responds. We're opening in a gap. I'm hoping for an open auction out of range with responsive buying, and I'm looking for a reaction into the 42-45 zone for a retest of the opening print, wherever that happens to be. That's going to be trade number one today. If it tries to push higher and breaks down, I'm going to be quite suspicious of continuation. Why? Because to the left, as you remember from the market profile chart, this is a wide balance zone that we're in from the third week of October. Remember when I talked about the third week of October on the market profile chart? I'm going to be suspicious of selling. So if I get an impulse, I'm going to be looking for a higher low on a retest and a potential outside in trade back to the open. So 2 outside in trades. I'm not expecting a trend today. Non-farm payroll report didn't come out. The Canadians put out their report. Their government seems to be running. But I have to hear that a lot from my sisters. Because we were supposed to buy Canada or take it over or whatever, yet our government's not running. They live up there. So those are the two scenarios. I have to drop off. Unfortunately, today somebody booked an 8 a.m. meeting, and I have a few seconds to get there. But I'll leave you with those thoughts. Remember, it's Friday. Stay conservative. You don't want to go into the weekend having had emotional trades or a blowout today. Keep yourself responsible and trade the way you would want to reflect on over the weekend. Okay, I'll leave you with that. Take care. Don't forget to hit like and to subscribe to the channel if you're not already subscribed. Take care.
Something's got a hold on me lately, though I don't know myself anymore. Feels like the walls are all closing in, and the devil's knocking at my door. Whoa, out of my mind, how many times did I tell you I'm no good at being alone? Yeah, it's taking a toll on me. Trying my best to keep from tearing the skin off my bones. Don't you know